So guys, I'm slightly struggling on how to define this boat for you. She is completely gorgeous. She obviously has fishing potential, but look at it. Look at every angle. Look at these beautiful seats, the polished timber. The girls are going to love this one. So is it a boat that you compare with, say, your Grady Whites or your Contenders, or is it something we compare to a completely different boat? I really get the restaurant vibes, the cruising around from your nice waterfront house vibes, as opposed to the catch and kill vibes off this boat. Let me know what you think. We're on the Chris Craft Catalina 30. That's what she is. She's a super highly spec'd boat. And in this video, we're going to take you for a detailed walkthrough and let me know what you think, where she sits on that spectrum of catch and kill or cool. And at the end of the video, like always, we're going to be going for a detailed test drive. We're going to go super fast on this one. She's a bit of a weapon with the twin 400s. And you are invited to come along with me. That's a separate video. Dan Jones is my name. You're watching Dan's Boat Life. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's do this. Who put those bloody waves off? So many of you, when you think Chris Craft, you think classic Chris Craft, probably that Reaver style as well, or the classic Americans. So when you lay your eyes on the Catalina, she's definitely got more of that practical, outboard, center console vibe, which so many of us Aussies appreciate for so many different reasons. And yeah, what I believe they're doing with this one is creating a practical but super, super gorgeous day boat for many reasons, and I'll touch on them as we make our way through. But come out the back here, Sam, and let's have a look at the back of the boat. We'll make our way forward from here. So we've got the two 400 horsepower Mercs. You can do twin 300s, twin 350s, or max 400. So we've got the max horsepower on this one. She's about 4,760 kilograms light. Fuel-wise, we've got another 750 litres and 117 litres of water. So add all that up, we're well over 5 tonne, pushing 6 probably. And she goes 45, we hit 47 knots in the test drive today. A hell of a lot of fun. This is a lively boat. She talks to you. It's like a classic car in some respects. So we're carrying the teak all the way on the decks on this boat. It's all real teak, plenty thick as well. I've got the freshwater swim shower just pulls out on starboard here. This particular boat has got a lovely baby blue colour scheme on the outside, and then we have the cream on the top. I find it difficult actually to photograph some of these colours, so I'm trying to offset it against the green background there. I hope it works for you because it really is a cool vibe. 3 rod holders, 1, 2, 3 across the back here, and this has got some multifunction in it, which I'll show you in a tick. Out the back here, what do we have? Oh, we've got a flushing system here. That's cool. Outboard, I only just noticed that right now. So we can just plug a hose in here and flush our motors rather than doing them through the traditional method through here should you need to. I would only do that if I'm leaving the boat for a long period of time because these are plenty fine to leave them if you're just using the motors regularly. Pop-up cleats. I assume, no, that's not for a sunshade, that's for a flagpole because we have the shore shade on this one, which deploys to about here, and you can run with the shore shade up at medium speeds. Don't do super high speeds with that deployed because it'll flap too much. These little hooks, just come in and have a look there, Sam, so everyone can see. Those are for your fender deployment. You've got little fender thingamajiggies that pop in there. And this here, it is a rod holder, but it's also will hold a tinny, so it's multifunctional, good design. So you just have one step to enter the cockpit here. There's your kid and doggy door. All the equipment on, like on every Chris Craft, it's top notch. So you just, as you make your way around, see all the stainless, the way they finish these boats off, it's the upper end is what I'm trying to explain. So I said this was multifunction, and let me try and demonstrate it. So that just goes up, and then this just comes out. Okay, I could have done that better too. It's when you have like a little bit more time to concentrate, you can do that a lot smoother. So anyway, you create this back seat like so, and then let's try and do this one a little bit smoother. And there you go. And then you can improve it a little bit more, but it doesn't finish. So come across here, you pop this up, and okay, so we've gone from working back deck to social deck. How cool is that? So we'll get 4 to 6 people, or just a couple, quite happily lounging here with a couple of throw cushions that you've left downstairs in the cabin and doing this. That's what it's all about. So underneath the floor here, we have access to all the technical systems. So we got the power steering, bilge pumps, all that sort of thing is accessed underneath me right here. Underneath me on the port side, we have a kill tank, and same again on starboard over here. Let's just get these out of the way. Okay, so that's same again underneath just here. So we have courtesy lights midships, and then next to them we have the JL audio speakers. And then I'm going to make my way to the center of the boat before we have a look at the side opening door. But we have, just have a look down there, live bait tank. So this, I don't actually know why this middle piece comes out. If someone can explain that to me in the comments. I'm not a fisherman, I order fish, so if someone who knows more about that can explain that to me, I would be grateful. We have a sink just under here. That's just going to be cold water only because we don't have a hot water tank being outboards. But just focus your attention on these seats. This is something else. I mean, I love seats like this. I don't know how many coats of varnish are on that. But you see the little button just in here? Can you see that, Sam? So you can just press this and it goes down. The detail is just exquisite. You see, come and have a look at the Chris Craft logo just here. And everything just feels top quality when you're moving the bolster up and down, and it is quite comfortable as a leaning backrest like so, and then stepping up to raise your height like so, and then if you need to, you just move it down. But just look at the timber finish just here, hiding the stainless. Isn't that beautiful? And then it's carried through at the helm. So let's just talk about that whilst we're here now. Come around, make sure everyone can see this, Sam, because it's just so beautiful. We've got this timber work here carried onto the wheel. Just have a look as I move the wheel. Look at the Chris Craft logo. That's just details. I love that sort of stuff. So nice. And then we've carried that timber finish to the dash here. We can see the Catalina 30 in the middle, and everything you need to run the boat efficiently by yourself, there's a solo operator for sure, is right here. So let's talk about that. We got one flat screen Garmin on the port side, another one on starboard, pretty big, compass in the middle, and then we got our boat systems over here on starboard. We've got shade in, shade out, wiper. We've got some lights, spreader lights and dock lights. And then we've got our live well operation, fish box, water pressure, bilge pump, anchor up and down. You can also do it at the bow. And then we've got our horn as well. Here's our engine diagnostics display just here, but we do have a feed out on the main screen. Everything from fuel flow, revs, everything you would expect. We've got our VHF radio just at the helm. The wheel is adjustable if you need to create some more space for yourself. And you've got your Fusion stereo control in the middle. We've got the modern Mercury console or throttle base just here with the push button start. So on this boat, you do the batteries and the keys down in the cabin. So that activates your power, your house and your crank batteries. And then you just do push button from up here when the engines are in neutral. We also have the Seakeeper trim tabs on this one. We tested them today, they work fine. We just used it in auto when we're in rough water and manual when we're in flat, and it was all good fun. We've got the joystick operation as well, so we can slide the boat left, right, spin it around, so that's very good if you haven't got a huge amount of maneuvering experience. The whole dash for the mechanics, or more actually for the electricians, will unplug. Just have a look up here. You can see this latch, this silver latch here and here, and then you see these hinges here and here. This whole thing just hinges open like that, so you do have access behind it for installing more electronics if you need to. In terms of the head height, well, I'm 5'7". With my arms outstretched like this, I can touch the roof here. So I would say big, tall Americans are going to be fine, because some of you commented on some of my last videos that you're going to struggle for head height. I need to start thinking about that more, because head height's fine for me on every boat. So anyway, you can see the solid construction of this T-top. Now this is great for our country because we do have an adequate amount of shade for the driver and navigator, and it's stylish, and it also gives you some wind protection. But these pillars here don't give you a negative, they're not blocking your vision, is what I'm trying to explain. The way it's been designed, they're stylish. You can see they're super strong, and they are, because we did bash through a few waves and this thing doesn't rattle, but it's done in such a way that you can see you can be belting along at 45 knots and feel safe and secure. If you want to let some air in, you can open this up as well. And then we have some down lights facing aft, LEDs just illuminating the back deck here. We've got some down lights here and here just going down there. And I've got some JL audio speakers just pumping into this part of the boat just here. So now while we're here, let's focus on the side door. This is pretty cool. So you just have a little door there. This just lifts up like so. And there you go. And then if you want to deploy the 4-step swim ladder, it's just underneath there. So that's super handy. And obviously it's really handy for getting people on at the dock. I'll leave that open for now. Actually, no, I'm going to close it because we are getting a few waves from random ferries and big boats. So let's do that. But that's very, very useful. So we have a fridge. The fridge is on port, so I'll cut to some B-roll of that. And that's underneath the driver's seat. And then underneath the navigators, we have a good little storage locker just here, which is perfect for a safety grab bag. So you can have your grab bag if you get pulled over just in here, and all your extra life jackets downstairs in the cabin below, which we will see in a second. Grab holes, stainless grab handles just here and here. This track just here is for the full boat cover. So this has got a full boat cover split up into a couple of parts going aft, to the sides and forward. You probably do need a hand putting it on, but it will protect this whole boat. So if you've got a beautiful deck like this, it's going to stay looking great. Look at the detail, Chris Craft logo in stainless on the timber work. So, so nice. Come up to the bow, because I think this is one of the selling points for the Catalina range. So many go fast day boats that you see on my channel, sacrificing space in the bow for basically turning themselves into excellent commuters from going to A to B, but then you really do want to get off the boat because you don't have so much usable space. Whereas on a Chris Craft, you've got these big voluminous bows. Voluminous, is that a word, Sam? It is now. and you can all sit around, you can put the table. I'm pretty sure there's an option for a drop down table like I've seen on the 35 HD. I'll link to that at the end of one of these videos. But this table is stored downstairs in the cabin. And then we have this, just come and have a look, Sam, quite deep storage locker just there. So you could put loads of items in that. And they could be wet items because it drains into the bilge aft. But you've just got this wonderful area, so you can use it as a picnic station, stay on board and enjoy yourself. And without putting my feet on the leather, you can run at speed without interfering with the driver's visibility. So that's totally fine. And you could just kick back and read a book and enjoy this beautiful winter sun too, because it's just lovely. But you've got these fold down armrests, couple of drinks there, and then that's all beautiful. It's got its own cover. Let's just have a look forward. Drink holders, speakers, storage underneath here. We've got more of those rod holders, which also double as the drink holders just up here. And then typical Chris Craft stuff. It's all hidden away. Our anchor operation is underneath here. The anchor doesn't protrude too far out the front, so it just keeps the looks looking gorgeous. That's that table leg just there, and here's the operation of the anchor from the bow, and we can do that from the helm as well. You've got your safety strop in there as well. And just look at the detail. This is actually your navigation lights, and I wouldn't tie the boat up with this cleat just here, but might be good for a little painter line or something when needed, because these are the cleats I'd be wanting to rely upon if I needed to apply some force to them. So here's more of those fender hooks or attachments that I was talking about before. This is the water in, that's the waste out, because yes, it's got a toilet and it's just in here. So are you ever gonna spend the night down here? I doubt it, but let's just show you what's possible. here's my feet on the end of the bed. And it is a proper bed. Yeah, we do have a lot of space. We've got rounded edges here, soft furnishings on the side. We even have a few reading lights. So it would be possible. This really is a storage space for all your bags, for all your life jackets, all your extra bits and pieces. And it is other things as well. So here's our master control for the battery. So house, engine batteries. Then we have our key starts just there. So you activate power with the batteries, turn on the keys, then you're ready to rock and roll at the helm. That means if you're hanging out for a long period of time through the day, you can just switch the keys off, so power is deactivated to those. We've just got access to wiring loom in here. That's behind the dash. We've got access to batteries in here. Can you see that, Sam? Yep. And that's also behind the dash. We're looking aft here. You go one step here, we have some lights. We've got some lights just there, turning light switches, turning on the down lights and the reading lights there. But you're looking just here, aren't you? Going, there's a sink, Dan. There's a mirror, little soap thingamajiggy. Where's the dunny? I'm sitting on it. It's underneath me. It's right there. So a little bit funny, but you can just set the boat up in a fashion without this thing, this like mattressy cover, because see, what I'm trying to tell you is there's a cut in the cushion just here. You don't have to have this on the cushion, and you can then make it a lot easier to open and close. But remember, this boat does 47 knots. You're never more than about 30 seconds away from a toilet on Sydney Harbour, so you don't have to use this. It's just there for when you need to. Well, that's the boat, guys. I just can't get enough of these seats. So, Chris Craft Catalina 30, would you compare it to the Contender? Would you compare it to the Grady White? Let me know in the comments below. I suspect this might be a boat that one could put alongside the Valhalla, for example, or some of the Winter Customs. If you've seen some of their custom jobs, they're not represented here in Australia, but I have seen at least one floating around the traps before. I think that might be a little bit more the vibe that I get from this boat, and I think perhaps some of you will too. A super luxurious American Carolina flared bow, you know, top end sports car to put in front of your house, but can also do a little bit of fishing if you really so desire. So yeah, if you want to see how this boat drives, that is a separate video, and I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of fun. So click on the link coming up on the screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe, support the channel and the Patreon. My name's Dan Jones. You've been watching Dan's Boat Life. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.